Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Can we call the roll, please?
Jim Eck,
Here.
Dwight Wirtz,
Here.
Larry Trent. Oh, absent. Jill Griffin. Absent. Donna Ware.
Here.
Brian Campbell.
Here.
Tammy Smith. Here. Abby Eilerman. Here.
Thank you. I'd like to have the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Now is the time for public comment. Do we have anybody wishing to address the board? The format for our board is that everyone is given 3 minutes to address. Okay, we'll move on.
First in the updates is Gateway update from James Arnold and Eric Williams.
Good evening. My name is James Arnold, and I'm the Economic and Community Developer for the City of Edwardsville. And this is Eric Williams. He is our City Administrator. Tonight, we are here to talk about the Gateway Enterprise Zone. Madison County has 4 enterprise zones: the Riverpen Enterprise Zone, Gateway Enterprise Zone, the Madison County Discovery Zone, and the Southwest Enterprise Zones. Enterprise zones were created by the state of Illinois as an economic development tool for cities and municipalities to help attract business to come to Madison County. Gateway itself was actually established in 1997. Inside an enterprise zone, there are different incentives that the state allows you to provide. In Gateway in particular, we afford developments 10 years of property tax abatement, a state building material sales tax exemption, and an investment tax credit. We are here today because Gateway is in Lewis and Clark's boundary. Like I said, in 1997, this zone was created, which gives us, per the old state statute, an expiration date of December 31st of 2027. So we are kind of following the timeline to create a new enterprise zone. So when this zone was first created, it used the 20 and 10 model. So the state allowed an enterprise zone to be in place for 20 years, and then we could request an extension for an additional 10, which we did. Now, under new state legislation, you are no longer allowed to extend the enterprise zone. You have to create a new enterprise zone. And so this is part of the process of creating a new enterprise zone, where we go and meet and discuss this with each taxing body involved. The new state statute only affords the enterprise zones to be in existence for 15 years with a 10-year possible extension. The Madison County or Gateway Enterprise Zone is comprised of 3 management committee members: Edwardsville, Pontoon Beach, and Madison County. We have met and determined that our best course of action moving forward is to submit an application by December 31st of this calendar year. That will put us in the best position to create a new enterprise zone. But again, per this process, there are 18 taxing bodies that are part of this enterprise zone. So Madison County is taking their taxing bodies, we're taking our taxing bodies, Pontoon Beach is meeting with their taxing bodies and having these discussions specific to property tax abatement. There's a list of all the taxing districts involved in this. and I threw into the presentation kind of a geographic map of where Lewis and Clark boundary is and where the Gateway Enterprise Zone is. If you see everything north of the red would be Lewis and Clark's jurisdiction, and the specific enterprise zone of Gateway is everything in green. So as discussed today, we are kind of starting the kickoff process to have this conversation with you because our formal request is to ask you to adopt the same property tax abatement schedule that we are adopting. It's a 10-year property tax abatement where the first 7 years are at 100% for the increased assessed value, essentially putting a building on the property. So let's say we have a farm field, which is how many of those warehouses started off of 255 and 270. The property tax bill, let's say, is $1,000 per year. A building goes on there. So for the first 7 years, the property taxes on that site are $1,000. In year 8, the property receives a 70% abatement. In year 9, the property receives a 40% property tax abatement. And in year 10, there's a 10% property tax abatement. In year 11, that building is fully on the tax reel. And I'll show you some examples. The first example is the Hershey building. This building is located in Lewis and Clark's district as well as the city of Edwardsville. In 2006, Lewis and Clark received $7.76 for this piece of property. Now, on the most recent paid tax bill, Lewis and Clark receives $91,000 roughly from a just shy of 1 million square foot facility. Another example, this is the Spectrum building located off of Pogue Road. In 2006, Lewis and Clark received $234 for the farm field that was there in property taxes. Now, just this past year, Lewis and Clark received $100,000 in property taxes from this building. And this is kind of back to my original example. This is vacant property still currently available in the Gateway Enterprise Zone. It's approximately 41 acres of undeveloped land. This is about what it would take to put another, let's say, 700,000 square foot facility on there. But right now, Lewis and Clark on agricultural zone land receives $70.79, where if we do have a building on there, that would be closer to $90,000 a year in property taxes. So for consideration, I mean, obviously we're going to take questions and all of that, but we would ask that you would adopt the same property tax abatement resolution that you adopted in 1997 for the new Gateway Enterprise Zone. Questions?
And just, thank you guys. Good to see you again. So this recommendation would actually come to the board in December. So you're not making an action now. This is wanted these gentlemen to have an opportunity to present this to you. I've met with them, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And so if you have questions, yeah, please let them know. But thank you.
Thank you. We have not. That's a great question. We have met with multiple taxing bodies so far. To date, Edwardsville, Pontoon, Madison County, MESD have approved the ordinances in one resolution. Edwardsville Township has approved the 2 resolutions they are required. Shoto Township has approved the 2 resolutions they have been asked to approve. We're meeting with District 7 again for resolution on Monday the 24th. We meet with Pin Oak Township this Thursday for the same process. To date, no one has opposed this. Please.
A couple of the others, District 9, which is Granite City, has approved their portion of the abatement. So I think it was slide 5, had a lot of them. So District 9 and District 14 have approved. Madison County, Chairman Slusser's kind of running some of these. So we've kind of, the 3 partners kind of divided these up so we could all split up who's going to which meetings. District 15, which is the Hartford Wood River District, has that on an upcoming agenda as well. And Chairman Slusser's office advises that SWIC, which is the other community college district, has this on an upcoming agenda also.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Dr. Jackson, do you have an enrollment update for us?
I have a quick enrollment update and then some information about an upcoming event. Maya Lawrence will present that. So for spring, we are tracking our spring enrollment. Currently, we are down in enrolled credits. So billable credit hours, we're down for full-time students. We're down about 9%. However, we are still early in the process enrolling for spring. However, in part-time billable credit hours, we're up 4.6%. So right now, we're continuing to register students, get the students in, but it does look like our part-time billable credit hours are up. So we are looking at enrolled student head count. We're down 0.59%. I'm sorry, 0.59%. So we are continuing to enroll. So of course, we see majority of our enrollment creep up right around actually when we come back from the holiday break. We like to say we have last minute enrollments. Majority of our students come in that week that we come back from the holiday break. So continuing to enroll students. I'm actually going through our CRM recruit system right now, reaching out to anyone that has started an application, maybe not finished an application, or has showed any interest in Lewis and Clark. So I've actually got a lot of feedback back from that, students emailing back, thanking me for that, wanting to know next steps. So that has really shown that that's working as well. So any questions? Otherwise, Maya will give us an update on a transfer event that we're having tomorrow that we're super excited about.
Is that, when you talked, Dr. Jackson, about the comparison to last, I'll just say spring, is that at the same point in time, or were you measuring it at about at the point of complete enrollment, just to understand the delta?
No, so it's year over year. So at this time last year, it's the same time. Now, there are a couple factors in there depending on when we start the enrollment, which it's been pushed back a week. So it just really depends on when the enrollment actually starts, but it is as of today, last year. So yep, year over year comparison. Yes, thank you.
Hi. So at the beginning of this month, I transitioned into a new role. I am now the Director of Student Affairs and Transfer Outreach. One of the first things that I am doing in this role, tomorrow evening, we're having our first LC to SIUE pathway event. So at this event, we will have LC team members and SIUE team members here. Dr. T and SIUE's Vice Chancellor of Enrollment Management are doing the welcome. We're going to have a student panel of 3 students who have done the LC to SIUE pathway. And then SIUE is doing an admissions and financial aid presentation as well. After that, we will have tables. This room is going to actually be pretty packed, but we're going to have tables with for students to walk around and talk to like the different majors. We'll have LC and SIUE personnel at each table. So we'll have a nursing table. So we'll have some LC nursing staff and then also a nursing advisor so that students who want to complete their degree here can have that conversation and make sure they're on the right path to then transfer after completion to SIUE. And so we'll do that with, we have great turnout. SIUE is really committed to this event, so they have quite a few departments and programs coming to show up, and our faculty have, and our faculty and our staff have really responded to this. So we are really hoping for a great student turnout as well. So this event is tomorrow in this room from 4 to 7. We're also going to have our mascot and SIUE's mascot here for pictures and stuff like that, and we'll have some giveaways and some food. So it should be a really good event, but it's the first time we've kind of done something like this specifically to one school to really encourage our students to complete here and then transfer to SIUE. So very excited about it. It's been a lot. We've been working on this for a couple of months, so it's kind of cool to see it come to fruition, but I think tomorrow will be great. So do y'all have any questions about it?
Yes, sorry. This sounds like a great event, so I'm excited to hear that you're doing that. Did students have to pre-register?
They did not. So because it is the first time we were doing it, we kind of just wanted to leave it open and see how the student turnout was, because I won't say as a generalization, but students don't really check their email a lot. And so we figured that if we had them register, it'd be like an extra step that might deter them from coming. So we just opened it up. We have been inundating emails and social media and signage on campus, and faculty have been letting their class know, and like advisors have been letting their caseloads know. So we are really dependent on like social media and word of mouth to really get this moving.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, well, if you all want to stop by tomorrow and get some of Dr. T's charm, he'll be on stage around 4:15. Thank you.
Sounds like a great idea. I'm excited to hear more about it and how it turned out for you guys. Our next item on the agenda is the TRIO update from Mr. Porter.
Yes. My name is Rizelle Porter. I'm the director of TRIO pre-college programs. First, I just want to start out by saying thank you guys. You guys are truly our allies. We appreciate all that you've done for us, the fighting that you did. It was very important to us, and so we're very appreciative of that. So just so you know, last time I was up here, we only had 3 minutes, and I wasn't able to get through everything. But just so you guys understand what TRIO is. TRIO is the oldest federally funded college prep program in the country. It was signed into law by LBJ back during the War on Poverty. Basically, it's to ensure that first generation, low to moderate income students get an opportunity to get access to college when they graduate from high school. So they're taking rigorous programs. So they're going on college visits. They're going on cultural visits. With Upward Bound, we do a year-end trip for the students so they can go different places, see different colleges, so they can get a better idea as to what type of college they want to be on. Do you want to be on a big rural campus like the University of Illinois, University of Missouri? Do you want to be in the city like St. Louis University or Washington University? Do you want to be at a suburban school like SIU Edwardsville? This gives them a better idea where they will be most successful when they graduate from high school and matriculate on to college. The big thing is that every year we have to do our annual performance review to the Department of Education so that they know exactly what our kids are doing, how well they're doing in school, and how we're spending their money. With Talent Search, just so you guys know, Talent Search is funded to serve 635 students. They serviced 636 students last year. Their school persistency rate, which just means kids staying in school, staying on task, they're approved for a 98% rate. They were at a 100% rate. Their secondary graduation with just a diploma, they're approved at 95%. 99% of their students graduated from high school. 40% of their students graduated with a rigorous, which means that they took 3 years of math, 4 years of English, 3 years of science. Post-secondary enrollment, they're approved for 73%, 76% of their students moved on to college. And then post-secondary attainment, they had 40% of their students who graduated from college in a 6-year period of time, a 2 or 4 year college degree. So that was their success. With Upward Bound, it's a little bit different. They're funded to have fewer students. Last year, they were funded, or they're always funded, to have 77 participants. They actually had 89 participants last year, so they overserved the number of students who attended. Academic performance. They're approved to have at least 60% of their students need to have at least a 2.5 GPA, but it's at 89%. Academic performance, passing standardized tests, 34% is what they're approved for, but 94% of our students have graduated or passed standardized testing. Secondary retention and graduation, just meaning they're matriculating to their next grade. So they're going from the 9th to the 10th and graduating from high school. 100% of upward bound students. I'm sorry, I get a little emotional when I talk about this. Rigorous program. 34% is what we're approved for. 82% of our students are in rigorous programs. Post-secondary enrollment, 100% of our kids went to college. And over 65% of our kids graduated from college in a 6-year time frame. That's success. That's what we do. That's what we provide for these kids. We provide an opportunity that some of these kids would never have if an organization like us wasn't around. We have a short video we want to show you guys. It's about 123 minutes. So no, I'm just playing. It's like 5 minutes. It's like 5 minutes. So if you guys will turn around and look back there, we got a short video for you guys just to say thank you for all that you guys have done for us.
Hi, my name is Brooke McCillian. I am a junior in high school and I have been in TRIO for around 6 years. Thanks to what Upward Bound and TRIO have done for me, I have realized that I want to be an architect, that I have a passion for creating homes and businesses and blueprints for other people and deciding how to put their passions and their thoughts into the building. And I would love to go to University of Texas with my talents and show off what I can do there.
My name is Scott Ross.
Everybody's got to participate.
My purpose in life is
Hey, that's the meaning of life. Come on. Purpose. Hey, that's the meaning of life. Purpose. That's the meaning of life.
My purpose in life is help out with the fam. I had to say it twice, but you know I'm going ham. My life's a movie, I'm ready to camp. Captain when I rap it, you can see me on the gram. Getting up and down, chilling with my bros. We always be on trips, yeah, we always on the go. We can go to DC, but the homies on the road. Don't ask what's my purpose in life, I already know.
Hey, purpose. Hey, meaning in life. Hey, okay. That's my meaning in life.
So the video was courtesy of Human to Human. They helped us out with everything. Really appreciate what Anya did. And basically, I just want to leave you guys with one of our mottos. Dreams don't happen unless you work for them. And those kids work for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great job. Thank you.
Can I say something? My grandson was in one of those pictures. Thank you.
I had a question. Is TRIO under threat right now, or is it now? I know that there have been some funding clarifications and updates. Do you mind just, is it long-term, or is it state by state, or even within Illinois, are some areas at risk, or?
No, it is at risk. Even today, it's still at risk. This is the last year for our talent search grant. We haven't heard anything yet about the reopening of the talent search grant in the future. So each grant is for a 5-year period of time. The last year, which is this is the last fiscal year for talent search, which is over August 31st. So if the grant is going to move forward, it should open either in May or June, to have the paperwork complete by the 31st, so they'll be able to get to all the different programs who successfully rebid for the grant. But right now, so many different things are open. A piece of good news is that I did receive an email from our program manager from Upward Bound, and there are some additional grant opportunities that I'll be on a conference call on Thursday about. So hopefully that will give us a better idea as to where we're going. Yeah.
The next item on the agenda is budget health. That's an update from you, Dr. T, and Mary Schulte.
Yeah, so I'll kick it off. So I wanted to start off by saying, you know, the exec team's already sort of jumped pretty deep into planning for 27. Part of that is by design. We know Mary is retiring in April. We want to get a little bit ahead of the curve. And there's a lot of changes and needs that we're continuing to see on campus. So, you know, we hope kind of early part of spring to begin to sort of feed some of that to the board, so you're able to see where our priorities are, you know, where we saw success last year, and then really what we're asking for going forward. I think one of the big things, and I mentioned this last month, is, you know, we're really looking at how we can better leverage working cash interest, perhaps some of the cash reserves that we've built up over the years, to address some of the things kind of outside the scope of deferred maintenance, you know, whether it's, you know, I mean, Chairman Wirtz and I were talking the other day. I mean, you know, there are certain bathrooms on campus that need updates. There are certain infrastructure things, some cosmetic things that kind of fall under the radar when we talk about deferred maintenance, because they're generally just wear and tear things. And we want to also be able to invest in programs a little bit more aggressively or ambitiously, so it's not sort of this slow roll, for example, to get, you know, another 3 programs done with our PACE program, but is there a way we can say, hey, we're going to invest X number of dollars, leverage the savings we have to be able to move the needle on that quicker. So there are a bunch of priorities that the exec team and I are fleshing through. Where do we want to start? How do we want to present those and frame those? One of the strategies is looking at high potential programs and being able to sort of take advantage of the fact that these are programs that have a high demand, and if we can't meet that demand because, we'll invest in this equipment or that in a couple of years, then we're going to lose some opportunities. So just keep an eye out for updates from us on budget in the next month or so, but we're kind of hard working at that, and our next sort of exec team budget retreat is December 2nd, where we're going to sort of dig in some more. And so I think Mary's going to give you a picture of where we're currently at and then go from there. So.
I don't know how I can top any of the items that have come from this podium so far, I guess, but I'm going to throw some numbers at you and see how it goes. But at the end of the first quarter of fiscal year 26, our actual revenues are slightly less than the first quarter of fiscal year 25. The biggest area of reduction for these revenues is the area of state funding, and much of this is really due to the delay of the September payments. They were not credited in time to make the first quarter business, so it just shows just a difference there. I have a positive and a negative regarding corporate personal property replacement tax. Since the state does not release the CPPRT estimates in time for our budgeting, we base our budget for CPPRT on prior year actuals and trends. The state estimate is actually $635,000 more than our budgeted amount, but the downside is, unfortunately, it is just an estimate, and in the past 2 fiscal years, we have not received the total estimated amount of CPPRT projected by the state. So that's going to be a line item that there may be some volatility in this year. We've increased our projected amount based on the state's estimate, but we'll continue to monitor and make adjustments based on the payments we're actually receiving from the state. And as of the end of September 2025, our fiscal year 26 actual expenses are $297,000 more than our actual expenses at the end of the first quarter of 25, with the exception, exception of salaries, benefits, and capital outlay. All expense object categories are up, with the highest differences in materials and supplies and utilities. So based on the percentage of current actual spending, while keeping in mind that we are looking at the first 3 months of the year with 9 months that we're projecting, we are projecting our expenses to be less than our budgeted amount for expenses. So overall, we're projecting to be under our budget shortfall by about $500,000. And if everyone is okay with it, I'd like to say just a little bit about the tax levy. We'll be bringing the tax levy to the board next month for approval, and then that levy will have to be filed with the county clerks by the last Tuesday in December. The levy proposal that we're working on includes the special additional tax that was discussed and approved at last meeting at the 2.8 cent level authorized by ICCB. As expected, this alone triggers a levy extension exceeding 105% of our 24 levy extension. Therefore, truth in taxation requirements are triggered. As such, the required public hearing is scheduled to kick off the December regular board meeting at 6 o'clock. The public hearing notice, including proposed dollars and rates, will appear in newspapers of general circulation of the district beginning next week. It must be published no more than 14 days and no less than 7 days before the hearing date. Therefore, I want to share a few details regarding what will be seen in that ad and arm you with some facts surrounding the 25 levy that we are working on. And the intention of the proposed levy will be to capture the special tax revenue authorized by ICCB. And as a reminder, we are authorized to levy that because we levy below the state average. Over the last 3 years, where the college chose not to assess this tax, there was an almost $6 million savings to our collective taxpayers. The proposed levy will also reinstate our operating fund levy assessments at the basic rates of 15 cents and 10 cents for the education fund and operations and maintenance fund, respectively, For the last 2 years, we have actually levied under those rates to stay at the 105% ceiling. This allowed for another savings of approximately $840,000 in the last levy year alone. So while levying, the college must estimate the maximum it will collect, and this estimate is reliant upon a projection of EAV growth. Over the last 2 years, EAV growth of our district has been within the 9% range. Our proposed levy will support revenues up to a maximum of 11% in EAV growth. If growth is less than 11%, the total levy will be lower than the amounts and rates shown in the published notice. If EAV growth exceeds 11%, revenues will be capped at the maximum amount published, and we would again be levying under our basic rates. It's believed that growth in the 9% range is probably likely, but we're levying at 11% maximum, which will provide us some upside revenue protection should growth extend into the 10% range. As we strive more and more to reduce reliability on bond revenues for technology and capital improvements, the revenue from the proposed levy is incredibly important. The proposed levy will provide resources to support strategic priorities, campus upkeep, maintain and update our facilities, allow program innovation and development, and preserve quality, our education quality and workforce employment contributions. It really is key to ensuring and strengthening the college's foundation. So we're taking this year as an opportunity to reset, reinstate the additional tax, and get back to the rates that we are authorized for. Are there any questions?
Will you be sharing with the faculty or with the students anything regarding like talking points that you gave us, or maybe with the board members, you may, you rattled that off just in case people get questions?
Yeah, and we can do that. Yeah. We can talk about that. If there are questions or thoughts or concerns, absolutely. We could even take sort of bits of the email and sort of like here are the reasons and the highlights and what it means. And what this also means is it doesn't, and I'm incredibly proud of the team because we've taken tremendous steps over the last 3 or 4 years to reduce that burden on the taxpayer, to really evaluate the systems and structures on campus. And that hasn't always been easy. We know we can't always be in a position to make decisions that are going to be the most popular decisions, but we have to really keep an eye out on the financial stability of the institution. The environment is getting much more difficult to do that because I think, as Mary alluded in just the budget health update alone, where we're seeing the most increases in cost are materials, just general upkeep services. So this allows us to get back to really where we were about 3 years ago, to be able not only to absorb and handle budget increases in terms of expenses, but also, it doesn't mean we're not going to leverage, hopefully what we continue to see on the working cash interest, which helped us last year, because that ultimately feeds into our cash reserves and we're able to leverage that for some investment in innovation and other things. So it's just trying to reestablish that balance that's so important to the institution, because quite frankly, we cannot depend on the state's revenue any longer. We had this discussion at our president meeting on Friday. And so I think most of the community colleges you would talk to are very much in the same boat in trying to leverage what they can to be sure the institution remains stable and we can grow sort of in a meaningful and healthy way. So,
and if I could even add to that, the state expects us to they're not going to help us if we're not doing our part. So whenever we do not take advantage of opportunities that are given to us, that affects calculations as well.
I think that happened, 3 years ago when, the 4 a.m. calls with Mary, right? We took a big hit, and we had to make that up, and we did, but it was painful, and it means we have to cut and trim in other places, which is also very difficult, especially when you think about, you know, a significant part of our budget is people, and we want to keep our people. You know, we want to keep the talent we have because that creates momentum, and, you know, just it's part of the energy that we want to create on campus, so.
And we knew when that additional tax or special tax dropped off a few years ago, it put us in a hard position to reinstate it. It just isn't easy to throw that on.
Right, yeah.
So, okay, thank you for your time.
Mary, what was that number that you said we were down this year? Was it 600,000 with the state? I'm sorry, I was trying to.
800.
The shortfall
The
with
shortfall
the state?
with the state.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to we're not really going to be overall, okay. Shortfall on state funding quarter to quarter. I didn't give the dollar amount.
Oh, okay.
Well, I thought you were talking about the 800,000 from last year that we
I think it was
essentially
just
saved the taxpayer.
Maybe
by-
that's what it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was around $840,000 by not going at the 15 and 10. Basically prolonging this another year.
Sure. And so the other point that you were making is the state expects you to levy locally as well as, you know, you're gathering local resources as well as using state and federal resources. And so what you're saying is, if I'm understanding you correctly, is when we don't levy locally to the maximum rate allowed by law, then it impacts the revenue we receive from the state. Is that what you?
It could, yes.
Okay, and that's what you were talking about, the 4 a.m. calls, 3, okay.
You know,
I
because
was new to the board then, so I'm trying to make
And
sure.
that's true, we did have calls.
And a lot of the calculations are based on EAV. So, you know, if we don't levy in full against that EAV, we're
Which is
still.
flat right now, too.
The full EAV is still going into the calculations, so.
And EAV is flat right now too, I think is what we're hearing.
Is that what
It's
you're hearing?
flattening out right now. And then obviously CPPRT is continuing to go down, so.
Well, I wanted to do 12 and a half, just for the record.
I think we're ballooning.
We had a very hard negotiation yesterday. didn't we?
I
Cindy
get it.
wanted
won.
12, I wanted 12 and a half. I just didn't,
Yeah.
if we're doing this, let's do this and make sure we were back to where we needed to be, and then perhaps buy some
The
time.
multiplier in Madison County makes it challenging as well, so.
Yep, it's the
8%.
challenge. If you have a crystal ball, this would be easy.
Yeah, it's-
but-
Thank you for explaining all that.
Thank you,
Thank
Mary,
you.
great job, really, thank you.
We'll move on. The ominous agenda is presented for a vote. Is there any item the board would like to be held out and voted separately? If not, I'll take a motion to approve the ominous agenda. Motion?
Motion.
Donna, thank you. Ware?
Second.
Brian Campbell, thank you. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Jim?
Yes.
Dwight?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Abby?
Yes.
Thank you.
Under action items, we have Resolution 25-11, the working cash interest.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Brian Campbell, motion. Second.
Second.
Jill Griffin, second. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Jim?
Yes.
Dwight?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Abby?
Yes. Next, we have the new personnel policy 414, emergency furloughs.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Jim Eck, a motion. Have a second?
Second.
Tammy, a second. Any discussion?
Yes. I am trying to understand when this would apply, because it suggests that there are significant gaps between when the board is actually meeting, but we meet every month. So I'm trying to understand what circumstances this would really apply to.
I mean, it could be if just funding sort of stops for a certain program or, and we're unable to bring the board together and we're unable to cover those expenses. So this just provides some authority to be able to make those decisions. I mean, essentially the board would have to approve of everything at the end, but we would be able to make those decisions. I hate to say it like this on the fly, and you can certainly jump in as well.
I'm just going to add as an example, during the government shutdown, we have employees who are on federal grants that there is no expectation that those, even though we would keep them employed, that we would be able to back pay them. We have historically been able, we have received that back pay, but it does put the college in a financial position if a shutdown would go on for a period of time. So.
In this too, I know working with Tom, and I don't know if Matt was involved, but I mean, this is a kind of a safeguard for the institution, mostly I think in the grant world, because we do have quite a bit of grants on the adult ed side, certainly on the National Great River side. Try to do the best we can to avoid this, but if we lose funding suddenly and we're unable to keep those people, it's going to be tough. So, I mean, would we ever need to use it? I don't know, but it's recommended that we have some sort of policy to protect the institution. So,
and we've run into this with the multiple shutdowns that that we've experienced over the past decade or so, but not until then have we ever thought that this might be a need. So,
Do other community colleges have a similar policy? Do we know?
Yes, in fact, Tom, with Robin and Schwartz, who helped us draft this, it's something that they've drafted for their other clients as well.
Okay, thank you.
I'll call the roll.
Dr. Trask, is there anything else you'd like to add, highlighted information items?
No. And I think we need to vote on that, do we? Yeah, we need to vote, Chairman.
Oh, I'm
Wertz,
sorry.
on the other one, yeah.
Sorry. Please call the roll.
Jim?
Yes.
Dwight?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Abby?
Yes. Under informational items,
Dr. Trask, anything you'd like to highlight in the information?
No, not particularly. I mean, yeah, no, not really. I think those are all pretty straightforward. I mean, recognition reports, always great to see our team recognizing one another, a capital project update. That's moving along. I mean, we have, make sure if you open that, you click on the link because it'll give you an update on where the project is, and we're going to continue to update that. I think February next year, bid documents should be ready and we should be ready to rock and roll. So we're pretty excited. And deferred maintenance, we continue to chip away at that, and that kind of links back to the discussion around budget. But yeah, no, these are just the general updates to keep you all informed on some of the ongoing things we're doing to keep moving forward. So unless there's questions, I don't have anything else.
The only thing I'd like to add as a student trustee and looking at the recognition report that Dr. Trask mentioned, there's several faculty, and I would highlight Christina Wickenhauser as a faculty member that when Dr. T has hosted some recent student meetings as well, just continually gets the positive feedback in terms of personally getting to know her students, supporting her students, encouraging them one-on-one to build their skills. So I just wanted to take a moment to highlight one of our faculty.
Thank you.
leadership team reports.
Yeah, just a quick update. So I had the opportunity, I mean, it seems like for several weeks, I mean, there were several trips. I think I've reported on this one when we took the trip to New Orleans, but, it was a great trip with Chairman Wertz and Brian and Jessica Noble and John Phillips, who's on our early child care development faculty member. This related to our PACE program and just seeing a lot of momentum there. Last week I had a chance to visit two of our, actually one of our L&C alum who's very interested in supporting the college, and then one of our Montes from I think class of 60. Oh, no, sorry, she was the last class of the Monte class. And so what I'm doing there is just trying to cultivate those relationships to continue to extend support to our foundation and ultimately our students. But when I was there, I was able to meet with the MJ Group leadership. This is our kind of partner on the healthcare side, and really trying to explore kind of that next generation model. And you all remember probably last year when Kyle reported to us, and we're starting to really think hard about what really does the future of this investment look like for the college, for our team? How can we better control our cost? Although this year we're capped, I think no more than 12%. We do want to look at a long-term strategy. And so Kyle and I met, had a really great discussion around really the vision and how I want to continue to really put pressure on them to keep the cost down for our team members, while looking at other ways in which we can give them some options to sort of make decisions on where they want to go and when they want to go. And the other big part of that is looking at this captive model. And so at a state level, I've had some discussion with our president group, and something I've asked to be on the agenda in January with the president group to look at more of a statewide approach as well. Because these costs continue to go up, and they put a daunting pressure on us as an institution, especially just factoring in all the unknowns that we have currently in the environment. The other one, and I know Ron isn't here today, but our Canyon GBS partnership, we signed the 5-year agreement with them, and I was able to meet with Joe and Mark. They're both the founders of the company based in Phoenix. And I'm just going to tell you, I'm so excited because one of the great things about this partnership is it's going to allow us to develop solutions that our team identifies as needs. So a great example is, as students think about coming to Lewis and Clark, and this is leveraging some of the AI technology, but let's say they start asking questions, they can be immediately directed to care teams on our campus that are based on the questions or inquiries they're making, and they don't fall sort of off the map. Right now, sort of making sure that we capture the students that are inquiring about LC, and there isn't just a message sent and it goes somewhere and nobody gets back to them right away, but this is a way to really direct people as students to our team so that they can sort of find the solution for them. As we're working through the advising model, if there are gaps that our advising team finds, we can let Canyon know, like, hey, we're really seeing a gap here. They can write the code for that. We can implement it. And the caveat is if that works, they can scale that for other clients. So there's a lot of opportunities there that I'm interested in because they're of a like mindset as us. They're very open-minded, they're more innovative, and they work off the spirit of being a startup. And I think as we reimagine who we are as an institution and how we serve students, having partners like that are not all about the money and more about the partnership and helping us grow is really important. So part of, I think, my responsibility is really to get to know these individuals as true individuals and not just as another vendor. So I was really excited about that. And then to highlight the trip, I had a chance to sort of surprise one of our faculty who was presenting out there on PACE, Jen Fuller, one of our early champions. And that was just exciting to see her in her element and sharing the good work that we're doing here at Lewis and Clark with others across the nation. Next month, you're likely going to see some information and additional ask on Carlinville. Dwight, Chairman Wirtz, myself, and Lori drove out yesterday to Carlinville to look at our new location in the high school, and that's going to be updated over the next month or so. So the idea there is that we're in the high school, and so we'll have a better ability to draw students in. We're going to create a more comprehensive schedule for Carlinville, looking at some things for the community in a little bit more of a deliberate way. And we have a new high school liaison, Cora, who is our scholarship coordinator, who's now over in Carlinville. Super excited about what she's going to be able to accomplish. So we're really starting to kind of think differently about, not that we haven't been, but it's always this sort of betterment piece for me is how do we continue to enhance those relationships? I know we're continuing to do some great work with Jerseyville, and board member Abby here is going to go out, I think, or I don't know if you've gone yet, but I think Chairman Wirtz is going to go yet. Just kind of take a look at what we're doing there and some of the broader opportunities that we have with high schools like Jerseyville. And then, of course, the biggest challenge we have is the rural schools like Whitehall and Carrollton, Staunton, and how are we continuing to find ways to allow is not the right word, but leverage our technology or ability to have those students see similar opportunities that the Alton High Schools have, or the Jerseyvilles or the Edwardsvilles has, when it comes to dual credit, concurrent enrollment, or some sort of combination of both of those. So we're excited about the evolution and transformation of our partnership with Carlinville. And then, of course, we're hoping by February to have a recommendation to the board for the Vice President for Finance and Operations, but that has started. We have, I think, a great committee on campus. Will at some level involve the board in that because obviously of the connection with Mary's role as being the treasurer and then also with the audit. But hopefully by February, and then that'll give us a little bit of crossover with Mary for some cross-training and just sort of familiarity with her processes and sort of approach. And I already said this, but yeah, we're kind of knee-deep in budget, and the board, as we've done in previous years, you'll start to be able to see our spreadsheet and kind of see where our priorities are and what those are adding up to be and why we're looking at doing those things. So things are moving along, and we're excited for certainly a break, but things are going well. And just always want to say thank you to you all as board members for your support. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Traska. I think it's time to adjourn, right?
I'd like to have a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion. A second.
Do I have a discussion? Please call for a vote.
Jim?
Yes.
Dwight?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Donna?
Yes.
Brian? Tammy? Abby?
Yes.
Motion passed. Meeting adjourned.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.